Hello everyone, welcome to the Made of Things podcast. This is episode 68 of the show, and I'm, as always, António Maria Correia. I don't believe I'm anyone else, so I might be at some point, but that's an option that's out in the open, but I don't really believe in that at all. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Apologies, guys, for to start off apologizing, but apologies for the lack of episodes in the past. Oh, I don't know, half a year. I've been sick. Back hernia, taking care of that, and things have been happening, and we decided to take an absence of from posting and from doing, at least mostly the podcast. We've posted some video episodes here and there, but we've mostly focused on revamping. Well, it's going to stay the same, but better and more, especially more of it. So we have about some 40 episodes, I would say, to post in the future, which is odd since I've been ill. How does that work? We don't know. So Nônô and I have been busy as far as we can be, and we have a new production how do you say this? New production. We're able to produce more and with more quality. So we'll hopefully in the next, I don't know, year and a half, see a boost in everything, really, in terms of Made of Things. So thanks, guys, for waiting. Thanks, guys, if you're still subscribed and you're listening to this. So thank you for your patience. It will be rewarded with kisses and I don't know, laudation. You will be lauded. Well, this is very complicated English. It's mostly Portuguese, but okay. So this is episode 68. We did this. We did this back at Paredes de Cora, which is up north, the festival up north, summer festival. This was in 2017. So the thing is, guys, we have a lot of content from coming up from 2018, and we're still going to be doing this in 2019 and 2020 at least. So for sure, I mean, hopefully forever, but and the show will be developing in other directions as well, especially the YouTube section. And we've also been doing. Listen, we've released, that was something we were doing last 2018 was or 2018. Simpler. We were doing music videos for a friend. We recorded our first ever music video, Nônô and I. We just recorded our second one, and the first one was for Nancy Knox. Nancy Knox is a Portuguese singer. She's a friend of ours, and some friends of ours from Alaska. So you can check out her video, please do. So Nancy Knox, she's on Knox with not like our Nônô Knox, but more like the classic Knox way of writing. I just clicked on something. I don't usually do this at the PC, but so it's so Nancy Knox with the K. I was just clicking on something because I don't know, it's none of your business. Stop looking at my computer. Okay, so I don't usually even do these at the computer anyway. Okay, but Nancy Knox, and the video is called Tropical Mermaid, so please check that out. We're really proud of it. And we're coming back, and we recorded a second video called, actually, I don't know the name of the song. Wow, but it's for a band called the Jeffries, and it's really fun. They're from Alaska, and they will be here in Lisbon. They will be here. They were here in Lisbon last week, and we recorded a video. It's simpler than the Nancy Knox one, but it's supposed to be simpler. So and supposed to be, I guess, a little wacky. Kind of stupid, this word, wacky, but a little off, it's a little done with some humor. Okay, with some humor. Again, another word I don't like, humor. With some, but with comedy purposes, somewhat. Not necessarily totally ridiculous, but it's funny. It's a funny video. Okay, so we're coming back. We have plenty coming up. Please subscribe on YouTube. Please keep listening to the podcast. We're still here. We're still going to post, and we're going to have more stuff coming up. Not necessarily just music, but other stuff as well. I won't spoil it for you. You'll just have to, keep up with us, which is not difficult considering that we haven't posted since June still. Okay, but we just posted, for instance, everything, the episode that we did. But my point before was that we have plenty of stuff, video episodes coming up on YouTube, but which you should subscribe to if you haven't yet, please. The same content goes on our webpage, which is Made of Things, the website, the web page. It's a website, and we called it Made of Things, the website. We didn't call it Made of Things, the web page. Made of Things, the website. I haven't done this for a while, guys. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but okay, so. The podcast is really delayed. The back catalog of podcasts is really quite staggering, because we've released some on video and then I haven't posted the podcasts, which means that we will be catching up and we will be posting, as always, randomly, but more so over the next months, I would say, just to catch up with the people that we've spoken to, and so that you can listen to this on iTunes. We should do this on Spotify, but I'm not really such a fan of Spotify. But I don't know. You guys, speak your mind, and if you listen to iTunes, to anywhere, not iTunes necessarily. It's just wherever you listen to podcasts. It's easy enough. But it's on Apple Podcasts. I'm not sure that's true. We don't necessarily post on. I don't know anymore, guys. I totally forgot. You know what? We should do? Nônô should focus on photography and the aesthetics of Made of Things. I should get an editor and just be myself as a host and a content producer, and leave the editing to someone else. I hope that this will I love editing. But I will have to edit this podcast apparently, before posting. Just the rigmarole of having to export stuff and put stuff together, and just check myself into a hotel. Check that I'm not going to make too much of a fool of myself. Not that I'm too worried, but anyway, more content, more stuff. That's the point. More stuff. We're back. We're alive, and so we hope that you guys will stay with us. So much this year, much unlike this this intro, we will have the first guest that we decided to post was Andy Shauf. Andy Shauf is but Andy Shauf is a Canadian musician that we've spoken to at Bridge de Cora 2017. He hasn't still released a new record, so this is still is still up to date, even though it doesn't really matter with us because we don't necessarily speak about the records themselves. But this one is kind of more on the record, so on the nose of the record. So this still makes sense to post this. We will have, for instance, album-related interviews with Steve Gunn. With Steve Gunn. Which we haven't posted on as a podcast yet. We have 2 interviews with Steve Gunn, even though these are conversations, not interviews, blah blah blah. You always hear this from me. Anyway, so this Canadian musician Andy Shauf has a great album called The Party. Has like 3 three great albums, really. But The Party is an excellent record. We spoke about this party, really. We spoke about, I think, murder for some reason, as I remember. We spoke about not sleeping and being on tour, stuff, and, writing on the piano, because he seems like a guitar player, but there's lots of piano-driven songs on the records. And, Elliott Smith and stuff like that. So, we're back. Don't be on the attack. Oh, this was terrible. I apologize. I should stop apologizing. Okay, anyway, you're here with me. And you're stuck with it. So now this is what you've made out of your life. So that's I sound Swedish. That's what you made out of your life. Hi, Sweden. Hello. Anyway, I should stop sounding like Pete Holmes and just get on with it. Thank you, guys. Please subscribe to YouTube. We need the support. We need more love. Share this with your friends. If you like Andy Shauf, it's really we get a lot of compliments, and they mean a lot to us, and it's very, very, it's awesome that you guys have good taste, and that you can compliment us, and make us feel like we're doing something, and which we feel like we are, but it's good to have the support, but we just kind of need more to keep doing this. So please, I've heard that I've been told from the people who have this opinion that this Andy Shauf conversation or interview is actually one of the more open ones that he's done, and he's been more speaking more, being more talkative, and and it's good to know, because I didn't know at the time, because I just thought that he was a quiet dude, and because he was very tired, and I was kind of loopy as well, but I'm always kind of loopy, but he was very tired from touring. Musicians are on tour extensively and get really exhausted. And he seemed just like she just wanted to chill, and that's basically what we did. But we spoke about the album, and I think we got a cool conversation about all things Andy Shauf. That's what I would say. So I hope you have fun. I'm pretty sure that Andy did, and we had fun as well, so I hope you do as well. So please subscribe on YouTube if you haven't yet. Follow us on iTunes, and come kiss us at Instagram on Made of Things, or at Made of Things, and Twitter we sometimes post there. It's Made of Things Pod, but don't really bother. You can always email us at madeofthingspod@gmail.com. I never forget the email, and don't forget to maybe go to the website. It's madeofthingsthewebsite.com. Easy enough. And good thing that we didn't include HTTP on the URL. It's kind of already there. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys. Kisses, much love, and be back soon. And please brush your teeth before bed. Bye.
Tired.
Well, I can imagine. Where did you come from?
We came from Paris today, but Toronto the day before. So.
Oh, so still a
little bit jet lagged.
Jet lagging. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much sleep have you had? In the past 3 days, maybe? So let's throw 3 days into the. I don't know. Like 12 hours. 12 hours in 3 days. Okay. That's not too much. So, people, guys, so you know what you do for rock and roll, right?
Yeah.
What?
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
That's what you don't do.
Don't do what you don't
sleep.
First off, loved the new album. Loved the previous album as well. Do you do you think that you're very character oriented? Because there was like Wendell Walker on the previous record, and the new one seems to have a party with all these sorts of people. And do you focus on characters a lot in your life? Like do people have impact on you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. When I write songs, it's just fun to put someone else's name in it, and make up stuff that happens to them. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more fun than talking about stuff that happens to me.
Okay. So does but things happen to you, or do you think like these people are they imaginary, or like this is stuff that has happened to you in, I guess, in second hand, I would say?
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff I've seen happen for the most part. There's some that are like, I don't know, people get murdered and stuff. I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
that's not
hopefully not
real.
Well, you don't know with how things are going these days, but yeah.
True. Yeah.
Hopefully not. No murder in your life. I would hope. I'm sending out the good no murder vibes your way now.
Yeah, I feel it.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, is it Andy Shauf or Andy Shauf?
Shauf.
Shauf.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard both, and you never know. And I like to say things correctly. So Andy Shauf. Okay. What about this party that your record reflects? Is it one of those parties in which you have a lot of fun, or is it like, for instance, a group of people in that sense, or is it, for instance, one of those that linger on and you're not really there mentally?
I don't know. I mean, I like to think that there's some people having fun at this party.
Okay.
I didn't write about many of them. Any of them, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was imagining like a party back home where everybody kind of just chats in the kitchen and goes for cigarettes outside. And
You do write a lot about cigarettes. I was going to actually mention that. Is smoking a big thing over where you are?
I don't know. Well, lots of people do it when they're young.
Yeah, true.
It's not a good thing to do, but people do it.
But it's like, but you mentioned that a lot, dude. Like it's on a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Like smoking cigarettes and smoking cigarettes and smoking cigarettes. Like it's not all you do. I'm not saying like that's all you do.
It's most of what I do in my life.
There you go. Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
So, very reflective of what's really going on in the party. At the party.
I don't know. Mostly people are talking and hanging out. Some people are dancing. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wrote mostly about the little weird, awkward, you know, the little conversations that you have that don't go well, or something you think is a great idea when you're pretty drunk. That isn't a good idea at all. Yeah.
Does that happen with writing? With you, for instance, with writing music? Like, I stood up all night, I at least until 4 a.m. maybe, or until 8 or until 9, and writing. And when you wake up the next day, you go back and listen to it, and it's no good.
That happens a lot.
That happens a lot. Yeah, I figured.
I scrap a lot of bad songs.
Well, you end up with awesome stuff. So there you go. And not to be sycophantic, but but it is really awesome. I loved it in the record. But one thing I wanted to ask you was, what's the main instrument you're writing on? Because which instrument do you mostly write on? I guess keyboards.
Yeah, for the last few albums, I've been writing a lot on piano. I don't know. Guitar, you kind of end up doing the same things a lot. You end up using the same chords and stuff. So I switched to piano to kind of get away from that, but now I'm starting to do the same thing on piano. So I'm trying to switch back to guitar, see what happens.
It's kind of funny because listening to records seems to be like, because as a guitar player, and I barely know anything about playing on the piano or any keyboards, but I know a little. But I think it's really telling when it's not written on guitar, like, and you can tell that your album was primarily not made on the guitar. I would say. I was asking because it could be piano or something else that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
But there's a melodic complexity to the piano that the guitar doesn't really reach. As it's mutual though. It's mutually exclusive, I would say, because the guitar does the same. But piano is more. Would you say it's more encompassing?
Yeah, there's just, I mean, everything's right in front of you. Every single note that you can play is right there. So there's so much you can do. And yeah, I mean, I put a lot of these songs onto guitar after I wrote them. And trying to get the voicings is difficult, you know. You're so limited with the intervals on a guitar.
So have you changed? Have you used different tunings, for instance?
No,
not really.
Just standard. Yeah. Okay. I tune enough in my shows. I don't need to do alternate tunings. Spend an hour.
Or bring 7 guitars maybe or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this show is called Made of Things, and it's based on the idea that you've dedicated yourself to art and to, in this case, music, because something happened to you, or that you heard something, or read something, or something, or watched something maybe that made you go like, oh, I want to do that for as long as possible. Did you have that? And what, if so, what was it? Because sometimes people do, sometimes people don't, you know. Or you were brought up in a musical environment. I think that's your case.
Yeah, I was brought up in a musical environment, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think about that as being an option until maybe until I started writing songs, and I realized how, I don't know, it's such a rush trying to chase that new song. You know, it's like the whole creative process and searching for ideas, and something just happens out of nowhere, and it's a very satisfying feeling. I don't think I would, yeah.
And did you think, for instance, with someone else's work, this was did you, for instance, something that you heard as a kid that was like, oh, if I can do anything similar to that, what that person's doing, I'd like to do that. Yes, please. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, like listening to Elliott Smith when I was in high school was like, wow, this guy can write really good songs.
I think it's in there.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I just said that this morning.
Yeah,
listening to your songs.
Last night, actually.
Definitely hear something Elliott Smithy in there.
It's in there. It's not. There's much more, but.
Who I love, absolutely adore.
And so, for instance, Elliott Smith was your trigger in terms of.
I mean, just listening to his songs made me realize that you could do a lot more than just strum the normal chords and sing the normal melodies. There was a lot more out there that hadn't been done with just such a stripped down aesthetic. Not that he didn't explore like bigger sounds, but yeah.
Awesome. And I mentioned Wendell Walker. I think it's an amazing song, and I think it was how do you say, like recognized in some sort of way, at least nominated in the Polaris Prize, right?
Wendell Walker there was like a SOCAN, like a songwriting prize.
SOCAN, yeah. Okay.
I didn't win it, but
well, still, dude, no one's nominated. I think like 5 people a year, or maybe so
yeah,
it's really cool. But do you think that that's kind of set the tone? This is more of an opinion. Maybe it set the tone, but I don't know. For the new album, actually, like a kind of a gateway song into the new stuff, because it seemed like kind of stood out from the rest of the previous record.
Well, there were a few songs. There's the 2 songs at the end of Bera Bad News. They're linked together as a story, and that was kind of, Wendell Walker was, I don't know, it was cool to write that one and realize that I could make just, like a pretty, not complex story, but you could see the story all the way through. And then when I linked those 2 songs at the end, it kind of made me realize that, I don't know, the story songwriting was really gratifying. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
And that's at least the narrative aspect of it. And do you think at least and the musical aspect as well? Do you think there was some sort of seed that was planted with those 2 or 3 songs as well? Like
no, I mean,
or are they so separate? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, every song you write is gonna take a little bit from the last one you wrote. You know, you're gonna learn to improve with everything you do, hopefully. So
let's hope.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, man. Yeah. That was lovely speaking to you. Yeah. Thanks. So actually, we ended up being more of an interview than we actually did. So they actually usually do, but usually it's more zany, madcap. It's not too zany, and I hate the word zany. It's disgusting.